This is Patrick, co-founder of Coach Better. Today I'm going to show you how a 360 platform can help you to take your coaching game to the next level and digitalize the main processes of your game, such as session planning, match day preparation, evaluation, team management, how to do video analysis quite easily and efficiently, and also for how to learn from the best within our knowledge article session. So whenever you log in to Coach Better, you actually get into the coaching dashboard. On the left hand side you have these different modules. Events, there's where you plan your next training and match day. Within team you have the team and roster management. Knowledge pool, there's an entire content section to give you new knowledge and inspire you. And lastly there's the video section where you can basically analyze your games and cut different sequences. So within the events section there's a nice calendar where you can see all your trainings, game days, and even the birthdays of your players. You can see every match and training has the availability of players. You can duplicate, edit, or delete these sessions. If you want to create a new training session, you basically click on plan training on the top right. You select the date, so let's say we train on the 10th and in the evening at 6 p.m. Click OK and then create training. This is where you come into the heart of the platform. On the right hand side you have our training shopping cart split by the 3 phases of each training: warm-up, main part, and final part. And on the left hand side you have more than 250 training activities preloaded, but you can also create your own content within this section. So let's say you want to start planning your session today. You go within the warm-up section, you filter for example for passing, and you're getting more than 30 passing activities. You could review these different activities and you always have a nice drawing on the left, and then on the right you have the activity flow, coaching points, variation, everything in one screen, and you have even a video to visualize that activity. Okay. If you like this activity, you can simply click on this button here on the top right and you can see it's already going to the shopping cart. Now you could drag and drop easily any other activities into the shopping cart, keep doing that for the main and final part, or even faster, go to our predefined training packages such as Train Like Liverpool, Passing for Beginners, and just click on the plus and our solution is going to recommend you a training session based on the focus point chosen. You can still review now these recommended activities, delete them or rearrange them in the shopping cart, and whenever you're happy with the session, save it for the meantime. In order to get really ready for the session though, there's one step left, because your group management. Basically what you can do here is you could say, hey, my goalkeepers today have an individual session, but then I want to have 2 defenders, 1 midfielder and 1 forward in group B, and so forth. And then basically at the bottom you can even track down the players that won't make it to practice, and that goes into the statistics within their individual player profile. So the session is planned, the players are planned, let's save it. And now we can actually share the session with WhatsApp, email, or download it as a PDF. So as you can see, you will get a nice PDF that you can print, the entire session, take it to the pitch, and then on the last page you even have your training groups, the players that won't make it to practice and the ones that haven't been assigned to any group yet. So very easy and efficiently done. And that's a good thing. You can now jump throughout the month and weeks in the past or in the future and really see what have you trained, who was participating, what was your focus point. Alright, so let's move forward. Let's say I'm having a match day. You can see I prepared already against Atalanta on the 7th of March. I have 29 players available. So let's go into that one. And you can see on the left I have my pitch, and on the right I have my players by position. I even can select from predefined lineups. So let's say for example I'm playing a 4-3-3 today. I can click on that and the system is going to recommend me players that should play. But don't worry, I can now say, for example, De Luca is today not part of the starting 11. I drop him down into the bench players and then just get another player on the pitch. I can even change the lineup the way I want to. So I would have my starting 11 on the left, I have my bench players on the right, and here at the bottom I can even track players down that won't make it to the playing roster and can say why. Not available, injured, red carded. Alright, this is how I planned my game. I can even now create any notes I want to. For example, for Daniel Borra, I could say find pressing victim, very important note, and so forth. And lastly, I could even have video sequences of that match from last season already here that I could now play to my players and even send it to them. Okay, this is how I prepared my match. Whenever I'm happy with it, again, I have the sharing function here on top to print out my lineup and send it to my players. So after the match, it was a good match because we won 2-1 against Atalanta. I can now record who scored. So let's say Chiesa scored and Mauro assisted in the 22nd minute, and then you can have even the second goal recorded in 54th or 64th minute. So we have all these records, and now you see this little star on top of the player. What you can do, click on that star, you can record now how many minutes did that player play. So let's say 74 minutes, and you can record what was good. So good speed on the right, and needs to work on the defensive part. And then you can even rate him from 0 to 5 stars and save that. On all of the data is going to go into his player profile. Yeah. So, and the good thing is now again, you can now jump to the past and the future and review all the matches you have already played and get a good idea of what was going on. Good. Let's jump into the team management section. Here is where you enter standard information on your team, such as the logo, name, you have your rosters here, you see some overall skills and the team performance throughout the season, which is basically 1 to 5 stars on average, as well as the season records, how many games did you win, how many were lost, and how many did you do a draw on. And lastly, here at the bottom, you can basically create new players by clicking on the green button or visit already existing players. For example, here my player Chiesa, and this is where the magic happens. I have a lot of really important data on my player that I can take for individual discussions, send it to the parents, or just to keep track on the development of that player. So you can see how many minutes did that player play throughout the season, what's his position, strong foot, and then the number. You can see he participated actually 100% on all training sessions and scored 3 out of 5 goals and assisted 1 out of 4 goals. Then you have, we call it the Fifa skill ratings. You can rate every player from 0 to 100. You see the game performance of that player, so again the 1 to 5 stars. And you have the strengths and weakness analysis that leads up to the player development tracking plan. Lastly, you even have video sequences on that player that can always be played. So let's watch the sequence on the player. It's a cross from the right, which was scored on, so very nice. You can write down your comments here on the right. And if you like, you can even share this again via WhatsApp, email, or download the sequences. And lastly, you have the game journal. Basically, you see every game, the date, a quick link to the game, the rating you have given the player, and then even the game notes and the statistics you have noted down during the game day. So everything in one screen. And basically, the best thing is you can again download this player profile in a very nice and handy PDF form that is now printable, shareable, as I said at the beginning. That gives you a good overview for all your individual discussions. Good. Then we move on to the knowledge section. This is really where we create content on a monthly basis for you to get inspired and learn on an ongoing basis. Not only our players need to learn, we as coaches need to learn as well. So for example, if I go into the tactic category and then offense, you can see there's various knowledge articles, for example, how to successfully shape and build up play, or possession play versus transitional play. You click on it, you have a 5 minutes read, and really you just get inspired. If you like this activity, this article, you can even share it with your assistant coaches or with players. And yeah, we hope you enjoy our content that is really created by experts from the field, and there's always new content coming to it. Good. Lastly, the video analysis part. This is where really you can create quite nicely and fast different sequences that are important to you and for your players, and share it as fast as possible for the players to learn. So on the left hand side, I could click here on this field and upload my video from last weekend. Whenever it's uploaded, it will end up here on the left hand side. You can click on it and then you play that video. Obviously, you can play it faster, normal speed, and you can jump. So let's say this is an important sequence for you, then you can click on this button here, Start Tech. So let's see what happens. Actually, a goal, 2-1 Arsenal. We can say stop now. And actually, we cut out these 5 seconds we watched. We can say here as title 2-0 or 2-0 or 2-1 Arsenal, or let's say ARS. We can tag a player, so let's say Kiosa. We can tag game, any game, and then you can write your game notes here. Say good speed on the left, leading to goal, and so forth. And then at the bottom you can even give a category. So let's say creating chances. We save that one, and basically what we have done now, within a minute we cut out one sequence. You can see it on the bubbles here at the bottom as well. This is where we have already cut a different sequence from that game day. I could keep working now and do any other sequences, but I leave this screen and I go now to my video library on the right hand side. As you can see, I can now filter by, let's say, player. I can filter by game day, and then even here by filter. And then depending, I only have one sequence, which I could play now. Okay. And I can obviously again share this video sequences via WhatsApp or email with any of my players, so they can visualize what happened and learn from it. Alright, lastly, that brings me back to the coaching dashboard. This is really just the overview where you can see when your next training is planned, when your next game day is planned, your rosters, the game performance of your player throughout the season, and our newest knowledge articles and newest training activities. So I hope you enjoyed this, and please, if you have any other questions, review our FAQ section. There will be a detailed explanation of any section again. So welcome to Coach Better, guys. Bye.